There's no light, no light in the sky, and it gets so cold.
What's good, guys? It's Joseph, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to motion track with Boujou in After Effects. Let's go ahead and get right into After Effects today. And I've showed you how to motion track before with just the After Effects camera tracker, but I recommend you guys go get Boujou, even though it is a whole separate program and you have to buy it, but it gives you a much better track. So I have my cinematic in here. I'm just going to make a new composition with it. And what we're going to want to do to start is I'm going to use just the same place that I did in the preview. And that wasn't the best track ever. I didn't really composite the text to make it look like it fit on the wall and stuff like that. I kind of just put it on and put on just like a random like material and stuff. But you guys can go more in depth with your motion tracks if you choose to. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm not going to make it as long as I did in the preview. I'm just going to make it a couple seconds. There we go. So basically just find where you want the text to be and just make your composition like that long. And you kind of just want to play around with different things just in case you want to put it in a couple places. So this is where I want it to be. So this is all we have to do for right now. Just go and put it into the render queue by going to composition, add to render queue, and then click on lossless, change it from AVI to JPEG sequence, press OK, and then press this little thing, whatever this says for you, and you're gonna want to save it in a folder. I have one just made for this, so I named it motion tracks, and I'm just gonna save it in here. Save, and it's going to save it under a bunch of JPEG pictures. This shouldn't take too long because I didn't make a really long cinematic for you guys to watch me just edit. So I have Boujou opened up, so we can go ahead and jump right in there after this is finished rendering. Should take a couple more seconds. Alright, so once it's done, we're going to go ahead and go over into Boujou. There it is. Okay, so it's done. Now we're in Boujou. Okay, the first thing you want to do with Boujou, I know it looks a little complicated, but it's actually quite easy to use. Go to import sequence and then navigate to that folder that you used to put the pictures in. I put it under my videos, and then I put it under motion tracks. Open up that folder and then click the first one, and then go ahead and click open. Okay, there we go. And then click apply. So now it's there, and then put the frame rate at whatever frame rate the clip was at. So mine was at 60. Go ahead and click apply again, and then click close, and then you can drag through it and you can see that it is one video for you guys to track. So then what you're going to want to do is click track features and click start, and this is going to take a little while. It's just tracking everything that's possible for you to motion track to in the scene, so I'll be back when this is done. Alright, so it is done tracking every feature in there. If you go ahead and scroll through it, you can see all of the points are pretty much tracked, but some of them move around a little bit. And now what you're going to want to do, the next step in this is click camera solve, and then go ahead and click start. And that shouldn't take too long. Now it's making sure all the points are tracked. Now if you move it through, none of the points should be moving at all whatsoever. You can see they're all perfectly tracked to the scene. So then you're going to want to find some kind of point you want to track to. So I tracked it to this wall right here. So I would either click this point or this point. It doesn't really matter for this tutorial. Usually for the one I did, there was a point like right here. I guess it's not there anymore, but we're not going to, it doesn't matter. So then what you're going to do is click scene geometry, click this point, and then click add to coordinate frame. And then click connect to selected, and then update coordinate frame, and then go ahead and click close. And then after you're done with that, right click on the point that you clicked, flag for export, and then go ahead and export camera, and then click this little thing right here, export flagged tracks only, flagged tracks only, and then you're going to want to save it to the folder that we did before. So mine was in videos, motion tracks. I'm gonna go ahead and save it inside, or it doesn't really matter, I'll save it right here. So wait, hold up, I'm gonna make sure it's saved in the right place. Okay, it's saved. There we go. And then scale scene by 1000. There we go. Press save. Now we're basically done. We can go into After Effects. We can close this up, I guess, but I'll just leave it open for now. Now go to File, Import File, and then this right here, the one that we just saved, and then import. Oh yeah, by the way, I'll go ahead and show you really quick, just in case your thing is not set to After Effects. Once you saved it, once you clicked Export Camera, and then you save and everything, and all my stuff changed right here, but this is the most important part. Make sure this says After Effects Maya. Unless you're using like Cinema 4D or something, just make sure this says After Effects Maya, because we're going to be using it in After Effects. So just wanted to point that out really quick, just in case you guys didn't know. Okay, so now we got that. It imported it as basically a untitled project, so just double click on it and then highlight all of that, and then press Control C, and then go back into your composition and press Control V. So now the null is going to be there, and that's where you want your null to be. And then if you want to, click the text tool, and I'm just going to go ahead and type in text. So there we go, text. And then if you want to, you can like play around with it, make it look cool. But in this case, and if you wanted to, you can track it to the null, but that's not really what I do. I go to Element 3D. Oh, and just, if you wanted to track it to the null, you just press P on the keyboard, make sure it's a 3D layer, and then press P on the null, and let's go ahead and copy this position by pressing Control C, put it, Control V for that. Now it's tracked to the null, but it's not really what I usually do. I don't really 2D track, I do 3D. So if this is it for you, all you want to do is learn how to use Boujou, then the tutorial's over for you. I'm going to show a little bit of Element 3D work in the rest of this video. Okay, so now for Element 3D, just make a new solid by pressing Control Y, and you can name it Element. Go ahead and press OK. So now there's Element, and then go into your Effects and Presets tab, type in Element. An element right there under Video Copilot. It's a third-party plugin, so you're gonna have to buy it, and it's gonna take a little bit to start up. Okay, there we go. Now Element 3D is on there. Now what you want to do is go to Custom Layers, Custom Text and Masks. Change that from None to Text, because it's a text and mask or mask. Custom Texture Maps. Make sure it is whatever your footage is called, and then that's it. Now go into Scene Setup. Go ahead and click Extrude, and you can see that the text is right there. If you move it up, you can move it up. And then sometimes I go ahead and make sure like the text is moved forward a little bit. I don't know, just cause. And then you can go into environment. I'm not going to play too much with the text. I'm just showing you a little bit of stuff. And there you go. And I'll just put like a little white material on there, and this is what I usually do. I usually put the bevel scale down a little bit, path expand up, and there you go. It looks a little cooler in my opinion, but you know, we're just playing around with it. So if you press OK, the text will not be there. So what you're going to want to do is press P on the keyboard again to look at the position of the null object, go back to Element, and then go back to Effect Controls, and then go to Particle Replicator and just change all these to 0.0. So now there's the text, and then just going to want to go into rotation and just rotate it, because, well, wrong rotation, so you can make sure it looks like it's on the wall, because right now it doesn't. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into Particle Look really quick, make it a little bit smaller, like maybe a 7, maybe a 5 actually, because it's pretty big. Okay, so there you go. Now it looks like it's sort of on the wall, but we're gonna rotate a little bit more, just because. Okay, so there it is. Okay, we're just gonna pretend that's good for now. So basically, you're going to want to play around with it a lot just to make sure that it is actually on the wall. But for this tutorial, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So now we're going to learn how to do some shadows on it to make it look like it's on the back of the wall. So go ahead and go into scene setup and create a plane. Scale it up a little bit. Oh, wrong thing. Well, we can scale it up a little bit once we drag it into the thing, into the composition. So I'm just going to leave it right there. And yep, I'm going to import it. Okay, I usually do it by hand anyways. Some people like to go into scene setup and they like to move it around. I don't really do that. I do it by hand because it looks a little bit more organic in my opinion. So it's gonna, oh yeah, hold up. Go back into scene setup. Once you have your plane in there, make sure it's on a different thing. So just drag it out of this group folder and just put this to 2. This is what I usually, this is my method. You don't have to do this, obviously. It's just how I do it. There's probably other ways to do it that's easier, but you know, this is how I learned to do it, and that's how I'm going to keep doing it. So the next thing I do is go into group 2 and then go into particle replicator, and you know, just put this to 0. They're just like the null object. You can't really see it right now, so go into rotation and rotate it a little bit. There it is. Voila. Okay, so now just rotate it just like we did with the text and just make sure it looks like it's behind the text. So there it is, behind the text. If you move the position Z, it kind of covers the text a little bit, and that's what we want, just a little bit, not too much, because then it will make it look like the text is in the wall. Okay, so to get the shadows, go to render settings, go to ambient occlusion, turn it on, and just drag these values pretty much all the way up. All these down here. I'm using Element 3D V2, and you're gonna have to play around with it, and I'll put this at like 10. So now you can see those shadows. Maybe put it to 15. And if you want, you can put this to ray traced, but I find sometimes just SSAO looks a little bit better. So you can also change a bunch of these settings up here, like the lighting. You can use one of these, like stylized or something like that. But I'm not going to spend too much time on this for the tutorial. To get rid of this little plane in the back, go back to scene setup, and you know how we changed the plane model to a different group or whatever. Just go to the material and just go all the way down to advanced, and then click matte shadow. Wait, wrong material. Go to the material you use on the plane, this material, then go ahead and click matte shadow. So there we go. Press OK. Now it looks like the text is nicely on the wall, the shadows there, everything that you like. So there you go. That's basically it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Obviously the text and stuff would look better with the color correction, and if you spent a little bit more time on it compositing it, made it look like it fit into the scene. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. There's another thing you can do, obviously with the text. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. Go into particle look, multi-object, enable multi-object, and you know, you can go to rotation random and just randomize the letters. So that looks a little bit better, but that's just one little thing you can do. You can obviously do a lot more. So that's basically it. That's all I'm going to show you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Show me some motion tracks you've made using the tutorial. I would love to, you know, check them out and give you some feedback on them. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back with another top 5 edits of the week this week on Friday. But have a great day. I'm out. Peace.